Act natural. Quick, act natural. What does it mean when we say act natural? It's an oxymoron, you know that? It doesn't really mean anything. You can't act natural because the fact that you're acting implies the fact that you're not being natural. Somebody tells you to be like yourself, to be yourself. We say that all the time. And the thing that's hilarious about it is we don't even realize that nothing is more impossible than intentionally being yourself. There is no way to intentionally be yourself. So that's why in certain sects of Buddhism, Zen in particular, the practice is to become unconscious of yourself. The practice is to stop having the experience of being an individual self, to stop having the experience of needing to control your actions, to hold a club over your head in order to not do bad things, to stop having to control what you do with yourself, to stop having to control what you say, stop having to control anything, and you just fade out. You just zoop, go back, and there's no you experiencing anything. There is just the experience itself. And even that is not something that you think about. It's not something that you think about. Because if you're thinking about it, well then, here you are. Is it like sleep? I don't know. I could sleep right now. I'm very tired. This existence seems to drag on sometimes. I want to make music. I want to be an artist. I want to express myself. You have to hold the inner belief. You are your thoughts. You are what your mind says. This world is created through consciousness. This world is created through experience. The experience of this world and the existence of this world are hand in hand with each other. There is no difference. There's no difference between what is experienced and what actually is. And so when a person is looking for objective reality, when a person is looking for what the truth is, what the real world is, the only possible way to fully explain that to somebody and for somebody to fully understand it is to be able to see it from all possible angles, from all possible directions, from all possible perspectives. And so that's why a person must soften their gaze. You must soften the way in which you look upon this world instead of looking at it harsh, instead of looking at it strongly, firmly, and focusing your eyes on one thing. Look at it softly. Soften your gaze. Don't try to pick out. Look out into the distance right now if you're watching this video. Look out into the distance, and instead of looking at one thing, focusing on an item and zoning your vision in on it, instead, look softly out at the distance, and don't try to identify any individual thing. Don't try to identify anything. Just look and take it all in. And this is the closest that you can get consciously to the essential reality. This is the closest that you can get consciously to experiencing your essential nature as a person. And so too comes the way that we express ourselves. If a person wants to express themselves, most of us do. That's kind of like, it seems to be that that's part of the reason that we're even alive in the first place. We want to express ourselves creatively and artistically. And the creative act is not something that can be done intellectually, because creativity and intellect and creativity are two different things. Knowing that 1 + 1 = 2 is not going to help you create a sick guitar riff. It's not going to help you create a beautiful painting. Not a painting that's beautiful in any way that's truly meaningful anyway. Same thing goes for music. The music industry has become flooded with people who are no longer expressing themselves, but are actually just trying to get some sort of reward for whatever it is that they do. And so the artistry of music has been lost. The artistry of art has been lost. No wonder AI is coming to take it away from us. Just the way that we soften our gaze when we look out at the distance in order to experience a deeper and more truthful version of what's in front of us. So too, when we express ourselves, we should soften the way that we express ourselves. We should soften the expression and widen it and allow it to flow out of us easily and effortlessly without making it too intellectual, without thinking about it too much. There's nothing wrong with what you create. There's no mistake. You can't make mistakes. If it truly calls to you in your heart and it makes sense to you to make music, to make art, to do whatever, to create whatever it is, or whatever it is that it makes sense for you to do, whatever calls to you, whatever comes naturally to you, there is no mistake. There is no mistake in what you're doing. There is no mistake in the way in which you express yourself. There is no mistake in what you pursue. There is no mistake. And that is the utter realization that we are meant to see, that we are meant to understand, is that this universe has no mistakes. Even when things suck, even when we don't want things to be a certain way, or we hurt, or we didn't get the success that we were looking for, blah, 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 blah. This is the universe expressing itself through you and through me and through your environment perfectly, with zero flaw. Even when you want to change things, and see, this is the thing, is that even when you want to change stuff, even when you want it to be differently, even when you're struggling and fighting, this is a perfect expression of what's happening. This is a perfect expression of the universe, right? And so that's why there's not even really anything to teach you. There's not even really anything to say to anybody. There's not anything for us to learn. This is why they say that the gate is gateless. That when you get on the other side of the fence of enlightenment, which there is none, you turn around, you realize that there is no fence. You see? And so the natural course of a person that's on a path similar to this would be to see that this world is full of suffering and look for a way out of it. And then that person looking for a way out of their suffering goes down the path of enlightenment. And so they meditate and they read and they attempt to understand and they do psychedelics to open the mind and they contemplate, and over the course of time they eventually come to the conclusion that the universe is perfect. They understand that the universe is perfect, and so they look around themselves and they see all these people fighting and suffering and struggling against the universe, and so their whole existence at that point becomes to look at those people and say, oh no, you're doing the wrong thing. Oh no, you need to understand that this universe is perfect. And so they go and try to teach them, and they try to show them what they see. They try to show them what they understand, try to help them fix their life. And then they remember, yes, even what those people are doing is perfect. Everything that I've done in the past has been perfect. Every death, every crime, every negative circumstance has been exactly what needed to happen in exactly the right moment. Every good thing, every bad thing, every moment of bliss, every moment of joy and peace, followed by every moment of chaos, every moment of suffering, every moment of existential terror. Even if you don't think so in the moment, that's what the truth is. That's the truth, is that this universe is utterly perfect. There is nothing wrong with this existence. And even if I try to tell you that, it doesn't matter, because if you believe it, it's great. If you don't believe it, it's great. If you know it to be true, then the universe is perfect. If you don't know it to be true, then the universe is perfect. It doesn't matter. And even if, I could eat my words. Somebody could come in here with a gun and shoot me, and I would eat my words. Maybe I would scream and say, oh God, why? No, this is terrible. And that would be perfect. You see what I mean? That would be a perfect expression of the universe. I understand that now because I'm thinking clearly. I understand that now because I'm seeing clearly the nature of things. When you're in the midst of suffering, it's difficult to see it. And you will probably become disillusioned again, or rather, you will probably become illusioned again. Myself included. I will probably become illusioned again when I suffer. When something happens. And eventually I will suffer. I will suffer some great loss, or I will hurt myself or whatever. Or maybe I'll become perfect. Maybe I'll become, perfect in the way that I don't get wrapped up in my illusion again. I don't get lost in delusions and concepts and stuff again. Maybe. Or maybe I won't. Either way, it doesn't matter. That's the whole thing. In the description below, there's a link to my second channel where I make music and play video games and have fun and do stupid shit. Also in the description below, there's a link to the Discord server that was created by this community. If you want to join it, you can talk to me and other like-minded people. It's really cool. Thank you guys for sharing this space with me. Much love. And as always, I will see you in the next video.